Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from AISLPC. This is their digital photo frame. It's a 10.1 inch IPS touchscreen display, 16 gigs of built-in memory, and it will support pictures and videos up to 30 seconds long. Now it is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can have people from anywhere, or you from anywhere, send pictures and files directly to this photo frame from anywhere in the world. We're going to dig into this now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is everything that you get once you get it out of the box. Of course, you're going to get the photo frame itself. You're going to get a user manual here, and this user manual has a ton of information in it. This will work on Wi-Fi, so the photo frame is Wi-Fi enabled, a 2.4 gigahertz only. It does have to be plugged in as well. There is a little bracket that you get that acts as a stand for portrait and landscape mode that screws into the back. This is Amazon Alexa enabled as well, so if you use Amazon products, you'll be able to control remotely from a device such as a phone or an Amazon speaker or something like that. And you can see that there are all different kinds of skills that you can do with this as well. So there is a lot of features to this. You do get a cleaning cloth. You get this little bracket here that screws into the back, acts as a kickstand to stand this up if you don't want to mount it on a wall. You can do that as well. So let's take a look at the wire that they give you. This is your AC plug-in. It's going to be a two-prong to a barrel plug here to plug into the back of the setup so that you can have this powered. It does have to be powered. There is no batteries, so you will have to keep it plugged in all the time. Now you get a 10.1 inch 1200 by 800 IPS display, so you're going to get good colors and good viewing angles. You can see we do have some ports here. We've got SD card slot will take up to 128 gigabytes. You do get 16 gigabytes of internal memory. There is a 3.5 millimeter output for audio. So if you want to hook up external speakers, you can, but it has its own speaker, a full USB port, and of course a spot for your DC or power in. You do have a menu and power button here, also a jog wheel for selecting things if you don't want to do it on the touchscreen, and then a rear firing speaker here as well. Screwing this little guy in on the back here will allow you to use this. If you don't want to hang it on a wall, you can leave it on a table just like this, and then you can also use it so that it can be in portrait mode if you want it in portrait mode versus landscape. Now this runs on a version of Android, so it's basically an Android tablet that is in a photo frame outfit, I should say. So it's going to look like a photo frame, but this is a full touch screen. You can set your language to whatever you want, and it definitely runs on a version of Android. You're going to see that here when we have to enter our password. You get the default Android keyboard, and it even says Android when it's first booting up. So this is pretty much a full-fledged tablet kind of in a photo frame. So you're going to see you can connect to your Wi-Fi. It's the first thing it's going to ask you to do. It only supports 2.4 gigahertz, not 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. You can see there is our default Android keyboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my password in here, get set up to my Wi-Fi, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so once I've got my password in, I'll just hit connect and it will connect to my Wi-Fi network. Now this is great that it's Wi-Fi connected, because what's going to happen here is using the Whale Photo app on your phone, if you were out and about and you took a bunch of pictures and you wanted to send them to your photo frame from anywhere, you literally could do so. Also, there's a feature on here to be able to give a code out to someone else, and then they can send photos to your photo frame. Like if you want a family to send stuff, they live on the other side of the country, they can send it no problems using the Whale Photo app. Now here we're going to set our time zone and date, make sure that that's all good to go. Then we're going to continue on with the setup. You can name your frame anything you would like. I'm going to leave it at the default. And then your frame location has a few different things like room, living room, bedroom, or workspace, that type of thing. Now it says, please follow the instructions. This is going to be, before you can use the picture frame, you need to add a user. And there's a sharing method that you can do. If you want to bind the app to the frame, you can scan a QR code, or you can give out a one-time code, or a code that lasts for about 2 hours, to a friend, and then they can upload what they want to, and then that will expire. So that's pretty much the initial setup here, and then you click done and you should be good to go. Now, taking a look at some of the settings that we can do here under My Frame, you can reset where you're going to have the location. You can manage your photos from here, show or hide certain photos, delete photos, import or export them if you would want to. You can do that as well. You can manage your account here, and once we're bounded to this with our initial setup, we will have our account under here. You can set your brightness level and your text size as well. So you can enlarge the text size if you want to make it larger. You can, no problems there. You can adjust your ambient clock to have an ambient clock when it is kind of on standby. You can set a sleep mode for it. You can set your weather location and your temperature, of course. So there's a ton of different things that you can do with this. Again, like I said, this is almost a full-fledged tablet in a frame form. So you do have photo settings where you can either tell it to show captions, which people can add to pictures when they send them to the frame, or not. You can fill the frame. You can adjust your slideshow and how long, the video autoplay, and how it shuffles everything, either from oldest to newest or in shuffle mode. So you have all of that here. Then you have notifications, and you can have a notification volume. You can turn it up or down. It does send a notification volume alert when you receive new files on the frame. Okay, so the app that we're going to want to use is Whale Photo, and this is how you can upload your pictures or your videos to the frame itself. So this works out pretty well. I'm going to select a bunch of photos here, and I believe you can only select up to 10 at a time. And this Whale Photo app will actually work if your relatives want to send, if they can install it on theirs, and then you can send them a code. Now it's going to say select recipient, no frame connected, please bind the frame to share with. So that's where we go into add a friend. Now when add a friend, you can do the QR code. That's going to be like your main bind, or you can do a friend code here, option 2, where you can send them the code and they will be able to use this. It's kind of required to be paired only once, and it will time out after a certain amount of time. Now, once you're bound successfully, I can now go in and take those 10 photos that I selected, hit next, select my recipient, which will be frame because I am now paired to that, and then I can hit next. And as you'll see, it'll say set the focus area, so that if this is in landscape or portrait, because you can move the frame and it will auto rotate. I'll show you that in just a second, and it will send these off. So you'll notice that we'll get new photo received up here at the top left, and who sent it as well, and what the day and the time was. Now that only stays up for about 5 seconds, and you can turn that off if you don't want that to come up on your screen as well. Of course, this is a touch screen, so I can swipe through this. It's an IPS display. You're going to see it's got some good viewing angles to it, some great color. All these pictures look really good, even though the resolution is capped at 1280 by 800. That IPS display really pops and has great colors. You also get basically a clock at the bottom right hand side, and of course if you set up your weather correctly, and I haven't done that yet, you'll get your weather, your current weather as well. And it's all, again, touchscreen enabled, so you can obviously interact with it with your finger if you want to quickly do things. And if you don't want to do it, there are controls, again, on the back to set this up. Here's a quick example of me uploading one and what it sounds like. Okay, so you heard that as soon as a photo came in, I got an alert. Of course, you can either mute that in settings, or you can turn it down significantly. I had it turned up so you could hear what it sounds like. But that's great because it has a speaker in it, allows you to play back video files as well with sound, of course. There's the file that I just sent of the moon. And if we rotate this into a portrait mode, the entire UI will rotate. So your clock and weather will be down at the bottom there. And of course, I can still wipe through everything that I want to. If I have a bunch of pictures that are in portrait mode instead of landscape, I can use them here. So this works out in both orientations. Although I like landscape better, it's nice to have the option for portrait mode as well. Okay, so that's my review of the AISLPC digital photo frame. Again, 10.1 inch IPS touchscreen display, 16 gigs of built-in memory, and Wi-Fi. Also works with Amazon Alexa if you have Amazon devices. This is a really nice photo frame, and I hope you enjoyed the review. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.